Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
Welcome to the Rockin' Review. I'm thrilled to have back on the amazing Taylor Hicks. You knew him from American Idol, but also singer, songwriter, harmonica, guitar player, author, restaurateur. 4 restaurants and a food truck.
Barbecue. Saw's Barbecue in Alabama.
Wow.
We don't do any advertising. We just cook butts.
That's amazing, though. And you've still got family back there in Birmingham, too. You were born and raised there.
Born and raised in Birmingham. Have been living in Nashville, in and out of Nashville for about 20 years now.
Wow.
I lived on Ackland Place.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, obviously you sell out shows every time you come to Nashville. And with your music and everything you've got going, the new album that possibly releasing this year.
Yeah, I did the record at Southern Ground at Zach Brown's studio. And,
wow, what a great studio.
Oh, I love it. Kev Mo helped me do a little production on it. Robert Randolph and Brian Sutton, who's I love to death. I just got a lot of friends from around here and different parts of the country that played on it. And it sounds like a Southern soul record. It's kind of what I like to say, if Zach Brown and Jackson Brown had a kid, it'd be me.
Well, you know what? It's so amazing, too, because, as your career was launching even, that's what you were known for. And I found it interesting, getting ready for the show, because I like to find out some different things. But, one of your big heroes was Ray Charles.
Ray Charles was the root of my musical tree.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest singer, in my opinion, of all time. And he taught me how to emote in singing.
Right.
And what was interesting now and then about Ray is that a lot of singers today want to sing these elaborate runs, but the tonality I felt is missing in some of today's music. Everybody kind of sounds the same.
I agree.
Tonality is a very important part of being an individual in the way that you sound, and he was one of the greatest.
Well, and a lot of our viewers may not realize this either, Taylor, but you really got your start in dentist office.
Yeah, I used to play around for yeah, believe it or not. I used to play in dentist office anywhere I could, actually.
Because your dad was a dentist.
Dad was a dentist, and I'd go around to the different offices and his different rooms and play. And
so were you a hit?
it just actually, I ended up finding someone, a writer in Nashville when I was about 9, and he wanted to cut some sides on me and stuff, but I was too young though. But I was always singing.
Well, I got to bring this up too, because once again, interesting things you hear. I heard that you were actually sneaking out and playing gigs as a young teenager, and that your parents appeared at a Mexican restaurant and caught you.
Oh yeah. I used to put a hat on, this big bucket hat, and I would go out and play harmonica with the local blues bands. And then one night I snuck out, and they happened to eat late, and there I was.
And I can so relate to that, because I used to play a lot of Mexican restaurants back in Cape Girardeau. It's okay, teenager, kind of safe. You go there with your guitar, So.
Yeah, it was, and all of those things I didn't realize at the time. As I was growing as a musician, learning the instruments and stuff, once I started learning the instruments, all signs pointed to, actually being a professional musician. And I left home when I was about 18, and it happened, the 10-year overnight success story. But I tell people I went gray, feeling like that I was going to be in music, and then I went completely white when I realized I had to stay in it.
Well, what I appreciate about you, though, also, Taylor, is that you paid your dues. Struggling with the music as so many musicians do, but a big turning point for you was the calamity of Katrina.
One of the last cab rides out of Hurricane Katrina, and I realized very fast that taxi cab drivers flee hurricanes too. I found one that took me to West Monroe, Louisiana, 15 hours in contraflow traffic. And he turned around and went and saved his grandmother in the 9th Ward. I drove to Birmingham from West Monroe, caught a canceled plane ticket. Southwest gave me a free ticket anywhere in the country. I flew to Las Vegas on a whim, And at midnight, my brother called and said, you need to go down into the convention center and try out for American Idol. Had no idea that they were there, and I like to say that I went and got in line, and everybody was asking me where my kids were that were going to audition. So.
But you know what? They loved you. And I mean, I find it so interesting that turn of fate got you there. And that obviously, you know, you did so well on American Idol and all that. But then years later, you're playing residencies in Las Vegas.
Believe it or not, yeah, I auditioned in Las Vegas. And then about 8 years later, I had my own residency at the Paris Hotel. It was the first Idol to have a residency in Las Vegas.
You know, that's a long way from going from playing the Easter Bunny for money to having a residency at the Paris. You know what I mean? I mean, that's...
You know,
how do you get from there to there?
You know, some of these gigs that I've had over the years have been way easier than playing the Easter Bunny in a shopping mall.
But you know what? You earned it. I mean, and you survived it.
Yeah.
You know, and look at this. I also have to bring up your great TV show. You know, with State Plate, it's like 4th season on Amazon, and I love what you've done with that.
Well, it's a great concept. I mean, you and I discussed, I mean, if you have a really good concept, it'll fly.
Yeah.
This is a concept where, you know, with the food background and obviously the traveling and the music, we put a plate of food together that's just iconic to that state.
And has the history tied in and everything. I thought it was so
history.
interesting.
We go to the farms. It's not necessarily, it's kind of a cross between Mike Rowe's Dirty Jobs and diners, drives, and dine-ins.
Right,
so
but you're not in any costumes.
I'm not in any costumes.
Okay.
I'm not an Easter Bunny, but I'm not in a sewer either, like Mike did sometimes.
He earns his money.
Yeah, yes, he does on that show for sure. But we actually went to the farms. If it was wheat, we would go and we would get on a combine. We really did a good job in showing just how important the American farmer is to this country and agriculture, and the food on our table is produced by a very minuscule amount of people and farmers, and they are sun up to sundown, and I feel like that State Plate did a really good job of featuring the American farmer.
Well, and I think you did such an incredible job of taking us from the field to the plate.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I really find interesting, and you're so at ease with it, and it looks great, and this is the final season, so what I was suggesting was you need to go international now.
I think that's the next step, or at least what was it? At least the hold on. At least territories.
Right. Why not?
Puerto Rico,
yeah.
Dominican Republic.
You could even go back historical and go, you know, in different time periods. You know.
It's a great concept.
Yeah.
I was really, really happy and very blessed to have that opportunity.
You did an awesome job with it.
Thank you. The stars aligned, and hopefully something else will come along.
So besides, you know, a TV show that's done so well, you've got an album in the can, you're selling out shows. Is it time for a new book?
You know, I was thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe so, maybe not. You know, it was interesting, you know, writing kind of an inspirational memoir and autobiography when I was 28 years old.
Right.
I hadn't had a lot of time.
You've lived a lot more now.
Yeah, I've lived a lot more. I've definitely met a lot of people. I've definitely seen the world, and
Right.
very blessed for that. And you know, that's you never know. That's a
I
good
love
idea.
keeping up with you, though. It's
Thank
like, you
you.
know, on social media and everything, you know, just seeing where all you're traveling and playing and going, and you've always got something going.
Well, you know, grass doesn't grow long under my feet, never has, and it never should, if you're going to be an entertainer in this business.
That's the truth. Well, I want to make sure our viewers know your website, social. Where should they go, Taylor, to find everything?
TaylorHicks.com for the website, official Taylor Hicks on Instagram and Insta Story, and then also Taylor Hicks on Facebook, and I'm there.
And catch the TV show on Amazon.
On Amazon Prime.
And maybe another TV show coming out soon. Maybe a new album releasing this
Maybe
year.
a co-hosting job.
Hey, there
with
we
you.
go. I'd be honored. The one and only Taylor Hicks. Catch him live. Follow him. Thanks for watching The Rockin' Review.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of a Bobby Bones Show.